name is Barney Gumble. I'm 40, I'm single, and I drink. There's a line in Othello about a drinker. Now a sensible man, by and by a fool, presently a beast. That pretty well covers it. Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Are you ready? Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Can come at any time. You're taking a bow or feeding a cow. Matter of fact, I got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own. It could be that great chalk and biscuit coating.
It's so hard to have a gay time on your own.
It could be that smooth toffee ice cream in the center, or that whole delicious golden cake.
I'm Danny, and I'm here to call out all you crack-pack bitches. You think I don't see you there? I'm the OG of this shit. But you come after the king, you better come correct. I'm Danny, motherfucker. Who are you, crack-pack? You smoke crack? You better watch your back.
Check it out. The forehead rises. You just see the shadow of the forehead today. Nothing else. My jazz hands here. Ready to go. Look at my workstation. I've got my tea. These are the packed. Packed already. Yet to be packed. I've even got these here. We can fold them. And we can do whatever the hell we want. Just a chill stream today while I work. Later today, I got to do the taxes. I've been putting them off for months. I can't put them off any longer. So that is one of the dark side of the forehead. Indeed, Mark's music obsession. You can kind of see my bad hair. I took my hat off. Although I should put my hat on. Hold on a sec. Let me do this. Dun, 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 dun. And then there's a giant forehead. That's probably better. Now it looks like I have the forehead of everyone's nightmares. Although it might block out the light. It block outs the sun. The cards look so good. Thank you very much, Jamie. I agree. They're looking great. This is actually part of the quality control. What I'm doing is I pull them here and I do a little look through here just to make sure there's no scuffs or there hasn't been any corner issues or anything. But I don't want to send out any bad ones. They sent me so many more than I need. So I'll have more to sell at a later date. But I want to check them. And we will read them in the shade, says Citizen Ronan. The shade of the forehead. Sounds like a good story. I neglected to upload Mark's first. Congratulations to Gary yesterday for breaking the stranglehold. Oh no, I've got to delete Gary's first. It won't let me. Damn you, StreamYard. What's up with the shadow? Is Frankenstein standing behind Bancroft? That's just my forehead, Buzz. That's a normal look. There's my hands. And that's a normal head. Totally normal. I don't know what you... Can I get a bit further? No, that's going to get closer. There we go. You can kind of see. It is making my head hot. That's all right. Bancroft shadow looks like a giraffe with no head. What if I swap hats? Does it get wider? There you go. No, that's a heavy forehead. That's a thick. That looks like a big boy forehead. I'll keep that one. That's the fiendish hat. All right, let me say hello to some people here in the chat. Thank you very much for hanging out, for being here, chilling, as it were. Mark's Music Obsession in the house. Let us honor him with the first. We've got Maromi here. He says he hated missing the coloring stream yesterday. That is all right, Mark. It's fine. You have to be here every day, but I appreciate it nonetheless. We've got Valley Law in the house. What's up, Jolly? Hail Mobiggs, the Golden Ranch, also couldn't be here yesterday. Was sorely missed. Citizen Ronan. The Trading Cuds. Yes, I've been called out on that. I don't pronounce the R. I don't say trading cards. That's not a thing. It's unnatural and unwanted. Taz Jones representing for the Rumble Gang. What's up? Great to have you here. Hello, Henry Bemis. There he is. There's Gary. Yesterday's first. We got Dean in the house. What's up, Dean? How you going? How is the progress on Embrace? I think that's what you're working on at the moment. According to Michael, anyway. Who else do I spy in here? We got Jay in the house, the troublemaker himself, the rabble rouser. What's all this then? You got a license for those cods? I do, actually. Yes. Unfortunately, Rob doesn't watch anyone's stream, so he couldn't hear his favorite song being played. This fellow is desecrating. No, he's honoring Freebird. He's honoring it. I mean, that's as good with a recorder. That's as good as you're going to get. Doesn't get any better than that with a recorder. All right, a bit of update here. Mo says, last night, Jay had Noah so concerned he might be trans, he started subconsciously doing jazz hands. Poor Noah. Why pay taxes when you overthrow the Australian government? Well, I'm not there yet. I even got a call from them. They're like, you haven't paid your activity friggin' thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know. All right. I mean, they owe me money, so I don't know why they're chasing that down. They probably think they're going to get some money. They ain't getting anything. We got Jamie here. Scrolling here. We got Statistical Zero. How far does he go with the hellos without Rob pushing him away from it? Yeah, I know. I can actually meet and greet you and hang out with the chat. Put all the rares in mine, Bancroft. These are all the rares in here. All the rares have already been packed. I'll probably be able to find some. Can you see it? Sort of. Do you see a little bit? See that? That could be the red. There you go. I can see it. You guys can't see it. That's the purple. And then at the bottom of the pack, we've got... I have to mix all these up at some point. They're, at the moment, they're all neatly stacked, but... So that would... No, that's a purple. Where are they? I mean, it's a good thing I don't know, actually. Is he in there? I can't tell. I've made it so even you can't tell. Like, when you get it, you won't be able to see. You'll have to open it up to find out. Oh, I think... Yes. See a sliver of orange there. That would be the ultra rare. So, let me just rearrange all these again. So what I'm going to do is, after these are all packed, then the next thing to do is put them in these bad boys here. So how do you open it? Like this. So you get it like this, turn it around, and then you want to see the glory of the card. So like that, like that. I've got these things here. Hold on a sec. Pull some out. I don't know how long this is going to take me. I'm going to peel. Look at this. Little circle stickers. I don't know if that's going to take a while. I don't know if they're easy to get off. Oh, they're all right. And then, right there in the middle, above that. Oh, yeah. And look. Sealed deal. That's what you get. So that's going to go, depending on whether you got 1 or 2 or more. Some of you got 10. Mad lads. Where's Sumo Thoribin? He got 10. They're either going to go into a rigid mailer and get sent through RJ, or they're going to get sent by me. I've got like mini quick packs. Although I say mini, they cost me a friggin' fortune. Look, you can see me. Hello. You can see me in the reflection. They're so shiny. The Bancroft seal. Exactly. Yes. So then with this, I won't know what's in this. I don't know. You get it? You don't? I don't. Oh, I'm also going to put this in a bag as well because I don't want it to get wet. So I've got a little plastic bag, but I don't need to do that right now. I think right now what I want to do is, oh my God, I totally forgot to bring in. Damn it. I forgot to bring in the plastic bags. I'm an idiot. Hold on a sec. I need to go play a video. I'll be back in 1 minute. What video can I play? Just need to go run in and get something. What's a video that goes for a minute? There we go. Oh, this one's a great one.
Today, we celebrate the first of many, 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 many diversity forums. Why is it that women appear to be worse at math than men? What is the source of this illusion? Or as I call it, the biggest lie ever told.
You're a worse version of Hitler.
Please believe me, I understand the problems of women. See?
The principal's a tranny.
Am I wearing women's clothes? I didn't notice. When I look in my closet, I don't see male clothes or female clothes. They're all the same.
Are you saying that men and women are identical?
No, of course not. Women are unique in every way.
Now he's saying women and men aren't equal.
No. It's the differences, of which there are none, that make the sameness exceptional. Just tell me what to say.
Poor Skinner. We've all been there. If Sumo doesn't get an ultra rare card, we riot, says Henry Bemis. Well, look, I can't force it to happen. I can only... I mean, he's got good odds. I think he was about one of, I don't know, 3 or 4 people that got 10 packs. Absolute mad lads. All right, so essentially what I do here, I'm going to start over here. I just give it a brief look over, make sure it's all good. Because some of them have a little bit of a imperfection on it. So I just want to double check as I go. It's you know, it's not a quick process. You think this fulfillment business just sort of happens. It doesn't. It has to be done diligently, with steady hands and a keen eye. And every pack gets manhandled by my greasy hands. So there might be some DNA on it. Jay says that is really nice packaging presentation. Thank you very much, Jay. It was the see, like there's a little bit of a scuff here. If there's a little bit, I just put it to the side. I've got so many. I got extra to spare, you know. So even if there's just a slight imperfection, I know you guys don't want that. You want your cards pristine and clear. You're shipping these from Australia, says Snuggy. If it's 2 packs or more, I will ship from Australia. Yes, because the only way to get the super cheap shipping was to ship it just one at a time from the States. So anytime it became bigger, it became a package, and then it was just, I may as well just ship them from here. So most of them, actually, I will be shipping from here, but there are obviously a bunch. I haven't counted them yet, but, you know, probably like 30 or 40 or so. People just got singles. They wanted to roll the dice. They didn't care if they got the rares. You know. They just wanted the base pack. These ones here that I'm packing out, obviously, these are the pleb packs. These are just your standard bog standard pack, as we like to say. I feel like a scrub with just 2 packs, says Mark. No, I think most people got 2 packs. I think that was the sort of average. But at least, yeah, they'll come in. I got these, yeah, like I said, these kind of mini Geminis that cost me a friggin' fortune. Not like quick packs. Better than Geminis. Geminis are trash compared to quick packs. Loretta Silver Member, yes, exactly. The pack for the unwashed masses. Snuggy says, I made 2 orders. Yeah, so what I'll do then is I will put them into the one order for you, and I will be shipping them out. So some people even got like a book with them, and they said, yeah, just send me them all together. I don't mind. The pack of the paws, says Citizen Ronan. I mean, I thought they were very reasonably priced for an independent, you know, venture here. They were $9.95. If you just got the 1 pack, it was $4.95 shipping. So here's what it is. But as the set grows, you know, we get series 2, 3, 4, and there's many cards. Yeah, these things might become hot ticket items. I don't know. I will, Snuggy. Thank you. Yes, I'll put them all into one package for you and send them safe and secure. I'm thinking they'll probably start going out. Like, between this and my taxes, see, that one's got stuff on it. I'm not saying that. Between this and my taxes, hopefully get all this done this weekend, and we'll be able to start shipping this week. It's actually, you know, it's not that many orders, because I think all in all, it's only about 90 or so orders or something, I think. No, 75. I've got it in my thing. So yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Dean says, I used to bully the kids who played Yu-Gi-Oh! In the school library, so it would be hypocritical for me to buy cards. Now, that's fair enough. Well, these you can't play these cards. You do read them, because they've got comics on the back. So, yeah, I mean, do you like comics, Dean? I think you do. I think you missed out. That's all right. There'll be plenty of time to rectify your error. Lots of people said, yeah, I'm not really into trading cards. I said, yeah, you'll change your mind. I regret nothing, says Dean. You say that now. And everyone's sharing theirs on social media. Oh my god, I got the ultra rare. Someone gets 2 packs and gets both the rare and the ultra rare. Can you imagine? Everyone in their whole neighborhood will be just wanting to come over and see it for themselves. It'd be like that guy that pulled the 1 ring card out of the Lord of the Rings pack. I was thinking of doing one like that, but I thought, maybe at a later date. Something a bit special. think printing one card might be a bit expensive. Jay says, Dean looks like a kid that would have coveted a Blue Eyes White Dragon card. He certainly sounds like one. He has that sort of voice. Oh, we got Ghost of Nessa in the house. Happy Friday, Vanessa. Great to see you as always. Rejected. It's the cards that I reject that make my packs the best. I've got a whole stack of rejects. Only the best for you guys. I didn't realize I would have to be doing this, for comic books as well. But you do. You have to sort of at least check out a little bit of it. And make sure that, there's not problems with it. This is what it is. That's why I don't like the whole idea of print on demand, because they're not going to have my level of... They're not going to have my eye. The world is Dean's oyster. Is it? Mark says, I'm not greedy. I just want to get one of them. Best of luck to you, Mark. I do wish you... I wish everyone could get them, but then that would take away the fun of it. That would take away the point. Mm-hmm. And maybe someone gets them and they don't really care. They don't want them and they can put them on the black market. Hojo's in the house. Just saw my colorist of the Mythicals is coloring a Horseman cover. I'm happy for him getting his name out there. Yeah, the Horseman covers are always the best, I think, out of all the Ripper covers that I've seen. Especially that one that was pink and purple last time. I think that's the only book I've read. All of Ripper stuff. It's pretty good. But it was a Chuck Dixon book, so, why wouldn't it be? Jay says, Dean sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. It might be the funniest thing I've heard here today. I think Yu-Gi-Oh must have come in after my time. I don't know when that was popular, but I don't remember that being a thing at my school. Although we did have Asians, and they were definitely into things that I didn't understand. In Australia, we have a big Asian diaspora, if you can believe it, being tucked right underneath Asia. But we have lots of, like in America, lots of multi-generational Asians who are, very Aussie. And then you have the sort of new Asians, and yeah, they're quite different. They're into that stuff that I don't understand. Vanessa says, Bancroft, they could have your eye if you take your eye out. I'm not doing that. My eye is valuable. My eye knows. My eye knows things that others don't. In the States, Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out 5 years after Pokemon. See, I feel like all of that was after my time. Stat says, I noticed you had hands. We have those in America too. You do? As in these? Yeah, I think they have them all over the world. Pretty much in the same fashion. Although, did you guys see they just found a new human that they've never seen before in Sahara? I love that stuff. I love the idea that there were all these different kinds of humans, subspecies wandering the earth at some time, and then there was, and then we won out. Either we won out or we interbred. I don't know. Did you get Vatican City Bancroft? I didn't get it. I don't think it's in Australia yet. But I did read it because I got the reader copy. I will be doing a review, probably spoiler free. Is it so new? Tomorrow. I won't be doing a full read through. Although there's not much really to spoil. It's only really the ending. I think I probably could go through it. I'll see what the chat thinks. but just not the end, because that is the sort of, it's not really a cliffhanger, but it's, it's a, hey, you need to read the next issue thing. Dumb question. You were on Well Reds last night. Well, no, we weren't doing Well Reds. So we weren't doing Vatican City. We were doing Reaper Destroyer, and Mike ripped Reaper Destroyer a new arsehole, and I was there to defend Joe's honor. I felt like it was with Twitless with the Lucent. He's like, I only like superhero comics, and the Lucent isn't like a superhero comic. So yeah, I know. Luckily, I didn't advertise it as that. And anyway, Mike was like, I don't like 90s books. I think they're trash. But, I mean, Joe could not have been more explicit in his advertising of Reaper Destroyer as a 90s book. And even though I'm not really a fan of that stuff, beyond, yeah, I read, the first whatever issues of Spawn, I see what Joe's doing. I can dig it. Mike is full of terrible opinions, says Dean. He had some good points, on the art, the women. I think Joe can improve drawing the women, but can't we all? I know that's something I'm trying to do. And I mean, I'd already given Joe criticism, feedback. I mean, I didn't like blast him. I just gave him feedback on character voice and stuff. Reading Reaper Destroyer now, says Dale. If somebody had told me it came from out in 1993 from Image, I would have accepted that. Yeah, 100%. Well, actually, I can see some things in there that they weren't doing back then in terms of coloring, because he just couldn't. But absolutely, it's the whole vibe. And Mike was like, where's the story? And I'm like, well, the story is there, but it's really these books, this style of book, it's about the art. It's about, the crazy school of cool art. So if you look at it through that lens, that's what you want. That's what you get. Mo says, if Reaper Destroyer was any more 90s, it would have come with a free Surge Extreme Cheddar Doritos and coupon for 50% off at Burger King Shack Pack. I can't believe I got that all in one take. That says, in the narration of the Lucent, I can't help but hear Bancroft's voice, like Bogan Stan Lee. The narration is something that Joe and I worked with, because I had it originally, but then I didn't have it for anything else. It was like, we both really liked what I did in the little narration that I originally had in the Lucent. So we decided to kind of take it a bit further. And I was, really happy with how it's coming out. I'm actually working on the narration for Fractured Mind right now. I usually write it afterwards, kind of like Marvel method, because it's sort of like, it's the polishing of the story. It's, it's giving it a good shine and making sure everything fits together. The story is what it is, but if you want to add layers to it and make it, easy to follow and all that stuff, that's how I work. Mo says, not every book can be as deep as Lone Star. Oh, that is a deep cut, Mo. Yeah, a lot of people hate Lone Star. I can't remember if I read the whole thing. Or I think there's only 2 issues out, isn't there? Maybe I did read it all. That's another one where I was like, it was advertised as kind of like a vigilante beating up dudes, and with a bit of monsters in there, and that's what we got. I don't know. I'm very easy to please, though. Everyone's always like, oh, I can't watch this show. I gave up after 30 minutes. I will power through to the bitter end. Hating Lone Star, isn't that a bit homophobic? That's what I... Hello, Jennifer Grover. Let me see if I can pull all that up. Super chat up. She sent me a little super chat here. Thank you very much. She says, Michael, you are a bleeping sweetheart. Thank you so much, Jennifer. As are you. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday night, wherever you are. Enjoying yourself. Listening to me waffle on and on I go. Relying on the chat to give me something to talk about. Because God knows, otherwise I would just sit here in silence. Read the last comment, Bancroft. Your last comment? Whose last comment? Where is it? Alexander says, one of my comics is pretty much just captions. I'm not checking the back of the cards, no. I figure if the front are good, the back will be fine as well. I mean, that's probably not going to be 100%, but really the front of the cards is the main course. I mean, when I say there's a little bit of a scuff on it, you can actually rub it off with your finger. It's just probably like, you know, when they cut them, a bit of dust goes on, or maybe when they have machines that pick the thing, you know, a printer picks the paper up and feeds it through, and sometimes it gives a little mark, but usually you can get it off with your thumb. I'm just like, there's no real need if you can rub it off with your thumb. But also, mostly I'm just checking the corners. I mean, there hasn't been an issue, but, you know, just want to check. I mean, I checked that they printed correctly. The right backs were on the right cards. That was the thing. Jaro in the house. What's up, Jaro? Great to see you. Cards are looking good. How the chat? There's no Diaz Brothers show tonight. Yeah, they're at C2E2. No Zaid raid, unfortunately. So we'll make do. We're getting it done. We're doing all right without the Zayders in the house. We don't need no Zaids. They'll be very thankful if they want to raid me next week. Bancroft, what is that hologram card style, and how did you hear about it? Were there other cool designs? I didn't get to pick. It was just the one. Oh, see, look, just the tiniest little on that one. I didn't get to pick the holographic effect. It's a lamination that sits over the top. So these ones have the cello gloss lamination. That's why they're super high gloss. So in lieu of that, the hollow foil ones just have a hollow. So it's like mid gloss, but mostly you get that effect. So it sits on top of the card, and it changes based on what light it is. So if you have two lights, you get two hexagonal rings. I've got the Victoria Bitter sign here with, I don't know, 20 lights on it. You get 20 rings. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, if you do pull a holo card, best to look at it under a light that's close. I took it out into the sun, and I guess the sun is too far away. You can see it, but it's not a great effect. You want to get it under, like, put them under a lamp right there, and that's where you get the best effect. Another one. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Wow, I feel so lucky. Michael, if we go to Australia at some point, can we come visit you? Of course. We're down here in Melbourne. We could go to South Bank, walk down the Yarra. I've always wanted to do a meetup, and I always say, "Oh, we'll do a meetup. Let's meet up with people." And thank you for the super chat as well, by the way. I don't know though. Just warning you, if you're leaving Canada, coming to Melbourne would be like counterproductive because you're just coming to, you know, Canada of the South. We are maybe not as communist as you guys, but not far behind. Out of all Australia, it's the worst here. Stat's got a bounce. Always great to see in here, Stat. Everyone goes sub to Stat. Watch his draw streams. I don't think Bancroft wants to risk visitors potentially jumping on his race car. Yay. Alexander says, I'm hitting 30,000 hours of drawing, painting, and coloring. Do you count? Do you time yourself? I started that when I very first started, just to see how long it would take me to do things. And then I got depressed, so I stopped doing it. I just do that, you know, like I say I started my comic on January 1st, 2015. And that's when I started drawing it. So that's how I measure how much. When I do my shorts and I say day 3,000, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's how I measure it. Very impressive. 30,000. Must be getting pretty good, you would imagine. It is funny after so many hours doing a thing, so many years, and you try something new or you try to improve a little bit, it just becomes so much easier to improve than it did years ago when you would really struggle with it and you get frustrated. It's a good thing, but obviously it takes a long time to kind of get there. But then sometimes I do run into something where I'm like, I don't really know how to do this, and then you remember what it was like when you were just starting. And then you're reminded of how far you have to go. I never thought South Canada. I thought South Canada is Seattle, Washington. Well, we're the real deep, deep South. Melbourne is the home of feminism, the spiritual Mecca, the birthplace of Clementine Ford. Mark points out to Jennifer, if you shop, you have to take over lawn duties. That is true. They'll keep the grass nice and long for you. Put you to work. And you keep. If we do eventually go to Australia, I would love to come see you. That would be good. I met the people, everyone in Tampa, and then besides that, I met Rob, I met Clayton, and I met Corey. That's it. Never met Dean. Dean is a hermit. Doesn't like to get out. Jay says, you should work for the Australian Tourist Department. What tourist? Although, I guess, if you come to Australia, what's the Canadian dollar like these days? If you're an American and you come to Australia for a holiday, you'd live like a king. Your dollar would go so far here. I mean, it's still really expensive. Everything's expensive here, but you would be insulated from that because of your dollar. It would go a long way. You know, everything is probably comparable, maybe, in terms of the amount, the actual dollar amount. But then you would just remember, oh, but that's, 60% of my actual dollar, so it's almost half price. Canadian dollars worth $115 disc. Oh, well, in that case, no good. No good, eh? You could go to the Philippines and live like a god. My friend is doing that. Not the Philippines. He's going to Cambodia. He calls me up. And he's like, I'm over it. He never found he had a long-term girlfriend for a while. They broke up, but that was like a decade ago. And then ever since then, he did the online dating, and it's just been an endless string of nightmares. So he's just like, screw it. And, even if you have a good job, as in, I think a good job in Australia is at least kind of 100K. So he's making way over that, and you just can't get anywhere in Australia. Everything is just so expensive. So he said he moved back with his mother, and he's like, I'm just saving up cash, avoiding to pay rent and everything, and he's going to go take all his cash, he's going to hoard it and take it to Cambodia and play poker tournaments in Asia, because they're like crazy over there. and he's going to live like a king. Jay says, we didn't have Couth internment camps. That is true. Yeah, we had them. And a lot, like, even when the camps weren't built yet and they had to do them in hotels and they had guards at the hotels, like, you couldn't leave. And I remember just a year earlier, they were looking at China, going, oh my God, look how bad it is in China. They're locking them in their houses. Quickly, everyone succumbed. Mark says, the Aussie family is, of course, welcome here at my Florida home. No crocs around the house. I would want to see a gator. I spent all that time with Camel in Jacksonville. I didn't see a single alligator. Your friend is getting robbed or stabbed for sure in Cambodia. Well, I don't know if it's Cambodia 100%. It could be in another country. But he's in the saving up process at the moment. Yeah, maybe he might find himself a Asian wife. I bet those gators seen you though, Bancroft. They're like, want some of that Australian meat. There's lots of meat on that bone. Jennifer asking, is Lord Ravener still on Jeremy Ice and Fire? Yeah, I haven't seen Ravener in a while. I know Snuggy is and Aldous is. They were doing great with Severance and From. They actually had an actor from on his show. You know, and they had one of the main actors was sending in videos. It's a good thing he's built over there. Now Jeremy, it's gone places. Yeah, I haven't seen Raven in a while. He might have just noped out. The Reddit says, I see the trading cards are sold out. If I order Painted Death, will it come with some? I do have your first book. Not at the moment. So let me fulfill all these, because essentially what happened is these packs have randomly the rare cards scattered amongst them. Totally forgot to check these. And so, you know, you had to kind of back it on the 60-day campaign period to get that. Let me get all this sorted, all the fulfillment, and then they will go back on sale. At which point, yes, you will be able to grab the base set, the 9 cards, with a book. So just give me a couple of weeks, I think, because, you know, I need to check, you know, if any gets damaged or lost or whatever, you know. No white glove treatment for these awesome cards. Oily mitts instead. You know, I thought about that. I had gloves, and it was really difficult to pick the cards up. And then I realized that with this gloss, nothing happens. Like, you can rub these quite vigorously, and nothing happens. It's quite a good protective gloss, so you don't have to worry. And if you end up with one of my fingerprints, maybe you'll be able to Mission Impossible, you know, some kind of thing and get into my phone one day or crack a safe. Who knows? I did wash my hands just before doing this, by the way. It's all jokes. Mo says Bancroft oils breaking down the card will only make the cards that survive the ordeal intact even more rare. I'm not Phil Diaz. Phil Diaz is the one who has to wear gloves because his oily hands rotted his steering wheel. At least that's what he said. Loretta Silverman, okay, thanks. Sorry, I took a break from comics and I'm trying to start supporting again, so I missed a lot. Yeah, no problem. I overprinted an amount to be safe, and I thought, I'll have some left over to sell at a later date. And they sent me a whole bunch more than I needed, like 50 sets more. So I will have a ton. So don't worry about missing out. We're all good. Phil is a giant with giant oily hands. Yeah, they both are giants. Everyone was a giant. Almost everyone. People in the States are big. They're big people. Tall. And some are wide. But hopefully not for long. If RFK can get rid of the seed oils and, can make America healthy again. And it's too late for some of you. But your children. I thought Jay was a giant, says K-pop. Aren't you really small, K-pop? You were saying that the other day. Everyone else is a Goliath. Vanessa says she's not tall. I've never thought I never thought about height. It's never been an issue for me. I'm in that zone where you're not tall, but you're not short. 5'11". So it was never a thing for me. But when I was standing around in, crowds in America, I was like, holy crap. I feel like the short guy here. 5'5". Oh, that's normal for a lady. If you're surrounded by 6-footers, though, yeah. See what you're saying? Mark says, I'm 6'3", definitely don't want to be taller. Yeah, above that, you start getting into the people start staring territory. Citizen Ronan, perfect height, 6'1". I think that's where a lot of people would want to be. Can you see on top of the fridge, Ronan, when you walk past it? I can't see on top of the fridge. It's not so much people staring as it is everything is designed for someone 5'7". Well, yeah, it's designed for the average. I always wonder, like, people who are really tall and they go into the public toilets and the urinals or whatever are so low for them. It'd be like going into an elementary school toilet. 6 foot, shortest male in my dad's family by far, says Michael Deitcher. Wow. But with a name like Deitcher, you sound like you've got some German heritage, so they're tall. Muromi says top of his fridge is at mouth level. Yeah, you are tall. I remember that. Rejected Damon. Exactly, Mo. It stinks. I don't know. I mean, what percentage of people are 6'3"? I don't think it's going to be many. Mo says, we are the same height. So Mo's another tallie. I could dunk a basketball when I was 16, Jay? Wow. How tall are you? Although I used to know a guy, he could dunk when he was 14, and he wasn't tall at all. He was Aboriginal though. I think they have that same sort of athleticism. He could just jump. It was crazy. It has plenty of benefits. 6'6". Oh my god. I never would have guessed. Yeah, a lot of people assumed I was tall just by seeing me on stream, which I don't know how that would be. And then they saw photos of me standing next to Rob. And I mean, Rob had the Rob Hawk, but he's only a foot tall, an inch taller than me. Not a foot, thankfully. I was like, oh my god, Bancroft's a dwarf. It's like, I'm 5'11". Yeah. 6'6". That's a good foot and an inch taller than you, K-pop. That's crazy. Dean says, I'm 5'11". I'd still kick your ass, Jay. Well, you would have the you know, the lower center of gravity, Dean. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's a true thing. If you can get a big guy off his feet, I mean, and then they're kind of slow moving. Jesus, I'd wrestle you. Ah, you know, I see you know your judo well. When I was a kid, I probably told this story before, but when I was a kid, I used to do judo, and I didn't go very far with it, but I went in a tournament and won a gold against about, I don't know, 6 other kids. So I was like at school bragging about it. I probably took my medal in, show it off. Anyway, there was this new kid. He was from Egypt. That's pretty much all I remember about him. Anyway, I guess he thought it was like, I guess it's a bit different over in Egypt. He felt like it was kind of like prison rules. Yeah, you know, you had to like go out and hit the biggest guy or whatever. Well, his idea was he was going to fight every boy in the year level. That was his thing. And he left 2 guys. So he'd fought everyone. I mean, according to him. I don't know if he actually did, but he said he did. He said he fought and beat everybody before me. And then he had 2 guys after me. It was like that freaking Astro Boy episode, you know, where he has to go around defeating the robots. And he said, oh, I heard you got a gold medal in judo. So that's why I left you, you know, so late. Yeah, totally, Nessa. He was living prison rules. Totally. I didn't know about prison rules back then, though. You know, even the whole kind of race thing and, you know, yeah. But, so he said, so he's explaining this to me. You know, we're out on the, we're on bitumen, concrete. And I say, so we're going to fight? And I'm like, sure, let's go. I'm all pumped up after my judo win. And he says, well, let's go onto the grass. I'm like, no, we're going to do it here. He was a bit hesitant, but he finally decided to. And yeah, no, I was in the final. I was the second final Mortal Kombat villain. And I can't remember what it's called, but I did the throw where you put them over your hip, I think. Yeah, whatever that is. I can't remember. They've all got Japanese names. And just dropped him right on the concrete. I don't think he hit his head, but I mean, it dropped from, you know, around that height with a bit of force onto concrete. It's, you know, you're not feeling good after that. That was my first and really only ever big win. The only other times I got into a fight for the rest of my life was just me getting punched in the face, which isn't pleasant. I'm not like Liam. Bancroft tales from his time in prison are fascinating. Was this last week in jail? I want to know. I wonder if he went on to fight the other big boys, because I think there are a couple of kids in our school who were they were clearly older. You know, it happens sometimes in Australia. You get kids come in from Alice Springs or whatever, and they've got no birth certificate, you know, no previous schooling, and they're like, oh yeah, they're 11 years old. You're like, okay, why does he have a mustache then? You know, why does he have you know, pecs and abs, and he's a foot taller than everyone else, and he can drive a car? Just don't ask questions. He's from the Outback. Okay. The original Bancroft bump, I know. But it's funny. I don't know if it's the same. It was definitely like this when I got older as well. Anytime guys got into a fight, it would always, you know, afterwards they would get up and go, oh yeah, like, you know, good punch, good kick. I like what you did there. It was always very amicable afterwards. And it was like that with him afterwards too. He was friends with everyone. He ran around fighting everyone, and then he was friends with everyone. So I guess the prison rules work. There's a method to the madness. They age differently out there. It's them Outback miles. Yeah. It's definitely different rules, I'll tell you that. Mo says, I tried to talk to the Egyptian kid once, but it was hopeless. He had a thick accent, and if you asked him to repeat, he got super self-conscious and would say it more quietly. Not good. Nessa says, because Alice Springs is in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of a prison continent. Yeah. It is in the middle of nowhere. It's true. They actually, they're giving. There's this thing called native title here, and apparently huge swathes of Australia now fall under native title. So like all these crazy beautiful areas, like a lot of that stuff that was filmed in Crocodile Dundee, it's all off limits now. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know how many people went there, but I'm sure they had a good tourism business going. We are getting there. I only need to do 160 packs, and that's everything I need for the fulfillment of the campaign. So I might actually be there already. See how we go. At least getting close. The emus took it back, says Aroma. Yeah. And we were powerless to stop them. None of our weapons had any effect on their ancient, feathery hide. Those damn emus. Ah, yes, the Great Emu Wars. You know, these things, they get exaggerated over the years, you know? Can't necessarily tell. You know, they often say history is written by the victors. So who's to really know what went down in the outback that day? Why haven't you told us that you have road trains in Australia and you'll have an area without trees? Road trains. What's a road train? I'm going to have to Google that. Areas without trees? Yeah, I mean, when you say areas, that sounds small. There are entire country-sized regions without trees. Nothing. You get these signs that say, head in here without proper precautions, you will not come out. It's like the next town is a 6-day drive forward. You better have all the petrol, water, supplies, backup that you need. Yeah, there's lots of areas without trees in Australia. Remember, Australia is it's in the middle of a tectonic plate. So there's no geological activity happening here ever. So whenever it's separated from what it was joined up with, hundreds and hundreds of millions of years ago, that's how it's been ever since. That's why it's so incredibly flat. We do get little tremors here, but no big real earthquakes. There's nothing changing the landscape. And there's a unique formation of mountains on the right and nothing on the left, and the air comes up through from Antarctica, and it just creates the outback. And it is what it is. The Nullarbor Plains. There you go. The Nullarbor. Don't go. There's nothing to see there. A road train is a fancy way to say a semi-truck with a centipede of trailers. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, I don't really know about that personally, but it makes sense to me. We have that. It's called Baltimore, says John. All right, everybody. I have to get back to my taxes. The taxes. Yeah, when he does this, he means the taxes, which is very exciting. And I've been dreading it, but I have to get it done by tomorrow. No ifs, no buts. So thank you very much for hanging out. Tomorrow, like I said, I'll probably be going over Narwhal's book, and I think Jose is coming on, and he might be launching on a new platform, but I'm not quite sure. If he isn't, we'll just check out what he's up to with his new book on Indiegogo. We'll see. We'll see. Paid mine about a month ago. It sucked. Hopefully you guys won't be having to pay taxes all that much longer. It'll be crazy. Timescales. Cheers from California. Have a nice weekend. And to you too. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of Australiana, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.
Come on. Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Get some cups. Why did you do this to me? Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off there. Ta-ta and farewell.